Are you lazy? Or is your brain just trying to protect you? It's a strange question, isn't it? One we don't ask often, because we've been taught to see laziness as a flaw, as weakness, as failure. But what if, just for a moment, you looked at it differently? What if laziness isn't your enemy, but a message, a quiet one, from deep inside? Let's talk about laziness not as a defect, but as a signal worth listening to. You've probably heard the inner voice before, the one that says you're not doing enough, that you're wasting time, that you should be working harder, moving faster, pushing further. We live in a culture that worships productivity like a religion. No time to rest, no space to breathe. Hustle, grind, optimize, repeat. So when you slow down, when you pause, when you simply can't bring yourself to keep up, the guilt comes rushing in. You call yourself lazy, weak, maybe even broken. You compare yourself to others, to their achievements, their energy, their carefully curated lives. And quietly you ask yourself, what's wrong with me? But let's look closer. Beneath the guilt, what's really happening? Your brain is wired for survival, not for success in a capitalist system. It doesn't care about your deadlines or your to-do list. It cares about your safety. And when it senses burnout approaching, when it feels the tremors of emotional exhaustion or the weight of too much pressure, it hits the brakes. That sensation you call laziness? It might actually be resistance to overload. It might be your nervous system begging you to stop sprinting toward collapse. A subtle form of self-preservation. One that doesn't announce itself loudly, but simply withdraws, refuses, goes quiet. Sometimes what looks like laziness is fear in disguise. Fear of failure. Fear of criticism. Fear of disappointing others. And instead of facing that fear head-on, your mind finds a back door. If you don't try, you can't mess up. If you stay still, you can't fall. It's not conscious. It's not sabotage. It's protection. Other times, it's not fear. It's pain. Old pain. From experiences where trying led to rejection. Where effort was punished instead of rewarded. Where no matter how much you gave, it was never enough. So now your body remembers. And it resists. Not because you're lazy, but because you're wounded. Let's look even deeper. There are many faces of so-called laziness. There's the mental fog that comes after long periods of stress. The kind that no coffee can fix. Where your mind feels slow, like it's moving through water. This isn't laziness, it's depletion. Your brain literally lacks the energy to perform. There's the emptiness that comes when you can't see the point anymore. You wake up, go through the motions, but everything feels flat. Tasks lose meaning. The spark is gone. And you wonder why you can't motivate yourself. But how do you move towards something when there's no why pulling you forward? And then there's the paralysis that trauma leaves behind. You want to act, you want to change, but something holds you still. A heaviness, an invisible wall. The past is still echoing in your body, and it keeps whispering, stay safe, stay hidden, stay still. So, what do you do with all this? First, stop punishing yourself. You can't beat healing out of yourself. You can't shame yourself into growth. What you can do is listen, not just to your thoughts, but to your body, your fatigue, your resistance. Ask gently, what are you trying to tell me? You might be surprised by the answers. Maybe you need rest. Not the scrolling on your phone kind, but real rest. Silence. Sleep. Stillness. Maybe you need meaning. A sense that what you're doing connects to something real. Something that matters to you. Or maybe you need to grieve. To acknowledge the weight you've been carrying for so long. To honor the parts of you that are tired of pretending everything's fine. From there, begin again, slowly. Start with one small thing. Not to prove anything. Not to fix yourself. Just to move. To shift. To open the door a little. Brush your teeth. Open a window. Take a walk without your phone. Write a sentence, not a chapter. Speak kindly to yourself just once and see what happens. This isn't about productivity. It's about reconnecting. Rebuilding trust with yourself. Letting your nervous system know it's safe now. We're not at war anymore. Because the truth is, you are not lazy. You are a human being. One who has lived through pressure, fear, fatigue, and disconnection. One who, perhaps, hasn't been heard for a very long time. And this stillness, this pause, it might be your soul's way of asking for care, for slowness, for something more honest than the chase for perfection. So the next time you find yourself stuck, unable to move, don't reach for blame. Reach inward. Ask, what do I need right now that I've been ignoring? Because sometimes the path forward doesn't begin with doing more. Sometimes it begins with finally allowing yourself to do less. Laziness isn't always the problem. Often it's the clue. A quiet knock at the door of your attention. A moment to stop. To feel. to hear yourself, and maybe, just maybe, to begin again on your own terms.